Welcome back. We're now joined by Rod Barnes, the CSU Bakersfield men's head coach. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing great, thank you.
Good. You lose 4 of your 5 top scorers. Who can we expect to see step up this season?
I think we've got some returners. Justin Davis is one of our returners who has really had a good spring and summer. Greg Lee is probably our most improved player, and also Tarzay Moore.
You go back to Ole Miss. You played and coached there. Is it bittersweet or is it more excitement going forward to that game?
It's excitement. I mean, whenever you get an opportunity to go back home, it should be exciting. But the other thing is it's been a long time since I've been back. They've renovated the place. I mean, they have a new building now. So I'm excited about taking my team back. We have some guys that are from the South, so hopefully we'll get a warm welcome there. And we're excited about playing another SEC opponent.
What kind of strengths do you see with your team right now that can hopefully give you a leg up in that game?
Well, I think we have experiences as far as we're mature. We have a bunch of juniors this year, no seniors, of course, but our guys have had time on the floor, whether that was with us or whether that was junior college and like DeMonte Buchanan, who is definitely one of our best players who played at Richmond for 2 years. So I just like our experience overall as far as maturity.
Let's talk about that Canadian tour you guys did. We'll talk business first, and then we'll get to the fun stuff. But back-to-back games.
Yes.
How do those kind of games and that schedule really help going forward to this season?
Well, we did that intentionally because, first of all, we wanted to see just how tough our kids would be. We also wanted to try to give everybody equal playing time so we could have an opportunity to change in the lineups immediately. But also we wanted to put them in a pretty tough kind of experience. We were having fun in the park and going around sightseeing, but when it got to the court, we really wanted to give them something difficult that it would be a challenge for them.
And do you feel like those foreign tours really do help build relationships both on and off the court?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think our guys really made a step forward as far as their brotherhood and their togetherness and the chemistry of our team, and spending that time away from family and from fans, from just other students, to have the time just them along and have the experiences. Some of those guys did some things they've never experienced before, and I think it's just helped us grow as a team.
All right, now let's get to the fun stuff. What was the most exciting thing you guys did out there?
The most exciting thing for me was probably the bridge, the swaying bridge. I mean, I was never done that before. I was scared. I was holding on to my wife's hand. I was panicking. All the players were laughing. So that was probably the most exciting thing to me. I think the fun thing together for our team was probably the bike ride, just being out in the park together and riding together and talking, taking pictures and things like that.
Oh, very nice. That sounds like a fun trip.
Yes.
Definitely love Canada. But I will now open up to the media.
Yes.
So this question comes from Clay Cunningham at the Bakersfield Californian.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on California passing the Fair Pay to Play Act, and what do you think it means for the future of college athletics?
Well, I think we're in the beginning stages of it. Obviously, I am one that believes that the student athlete are already given some benefits, but also there's a lot of kids still struggling. I think it has more to do just where background, where kids coming from, the disadvantages. And I think we've done a lot of different things as far as helping them with tutoring and academics and places to play and locker rooms and things like that. But also, I just think times are changing. I would definitely like to do more research. There more research to be done because I do believe in fairness, and I don't want us to get in a situation as far as the NCAA that someone has more of an advantage than others. But I'm also one that I think we need to do something to help our student athletes financially more than what we do.
Coach, like Rachel pointed out, you lost 4 of your top scorers from last year. Who are some guys that are new guys maybe that you brought in, or the red shirt last year, that are going to step into those roles and be able to maybe fill up the stat sheet to help account for the losses that you took last year?
Well, we think DeMonte Buckingham, we call him Buck. He's a transfer from Richmond. He's really established himself not only just with our team as far as being able to score. He's an all-around player, but also his leadership. He's one of our captains, and he earned that just being there for 1 year red shirting. He has really stepped up. I think our big guy, Sean Stiff, has really shown that he could score on the block. He's a junior college transfer from Saddleback. Also would run and read us. Last year we played kind of undersized with James Suber, which he did a great job. Great offensive rebounder. But I think now we've got more fouls, we got more opportunities for rebound, and more scoring as far as those guys inside. Those guys have kind of been the ones that we've really got to lean on. We've had other guys that I think that's going to contribute right away. Czar Perry is one that's competing for our point guard position. Also Cam Allen. Both of those guys, Cam transferred from Loyola Marymount, and Czar Perry came from Holmes Community College. But so again, because we have junior college players that are mature, a lot of those guys are going to factor in early in our scheme of trying to develop depth.
Your team's had some postseason success over the last few years in various tournaments. How did those games and extra practices help the following year?
Well, I think, first of all, it gives you confidence whenever you're playing in postseason. As you said, it gives us extra days to practice. It gives us an opportunity to kind of get away from trying to get to the NCAA tournament or win the WAC regular season to really kind of preparing for the next year. So we changed our lineup when we played last year in postseason play. I thought it helped us. I thought it prepared us for this season. We played Justin McCall a lot, Justin Davis, and Greg Lee. We played those guys a lot knowing that we would be in this situation that we would lose those other guys. So it really has helped us, I think, as far as just the experience and also playing in postseason.
In addition to Ole Miss, you'll also visit Gonzaga and a Texas Tech team that was in the national championship last year. What's your non-conference scheduling philosophy?
I don't know whose philosophy that is, to be honest with you. I don't know that guy. He left. We're still looking for him as far as made that schedule. So once we find him, we'll figure out what his philosophy is. He's crazy to get those teams. But no, I was trying to build for us. I'm the one who's responsible. That was kind of a joke. Those are very good teams. Those are programs that similar to something that we would like to. Gonzaga is obviously a mid-major power, actually a high-major team now. Also with Texas Tech, they made a run that no one expected, and they've done a really good job with their team and playing and recruiting older guys, and just to be in that. I mean, it's going to give us a lot of exposure as far as our program and the conference and our university. Then going back home again, playing against any SEC team, and obviously for me it'll be exciting going back as far as my whole. So our schedule is tough, but I knew our league would be tough. I think we have a really good team, and we got picked 7th, I think, by polls or whatever. Someone texted me this morning and said, we're 7th, huh? So obviously our league is good, but I think our non-conference, especially this one, will prepare us for conference play.
Like all conferences, the WAC has been greatly impacted by the upkick in player transfers. How difficult is it to combat all this player movement, and what have you done to adjust?
That's tough. I mean, you just it's as sad as it might seem. It's almost like we're in an NBA where there's free agents, and I mean, I can imagine. The coaches in the country would kill me. I can imagine that before long there's going to be transfer in the middle of the year. Someone's going to come up with some excuse to transfer in the middle of the year, and because of the way things are going, we're going to allow them to play probably. But it's difficult because, from year to year, I'm not in favor of the rules the way they are now, because I'm just one believe it. And I'm one that's had some guys. I have Buck right now who's sitting out, but just for guys to be immediately eligible is a tough situation. And we have a couple that are like that, but just having to, adjust to what's happening in the culture, what we're doing, but I'm definitely not in agreeing with what's happening with us.
Has there been an emphasis on not fouling for your team, considering last year basically your opponent shot almost 270 more free throws than your team did? I know that Bakersfield you like to play physical and aggressive, but has there been kind of an emphasis to maybe lay the hands off, or do you want your guys to keep playing physical regardless?
That fouling is because we can't guard anybody. It has nothing to do with doing it. No, our team is. We've talked about that. Obviously, when you go through the season, you want to find things that you can improve on. The other opponents shot so many more free throws than we did, so we've got to address that. We've talked about that, but we're going to stick with our style. We feel like it's been successful and put us in the position that we've been in, but that is one area of concern of ours that we've got to cut down on putting people on the free throw line as much as we have in the last 2 years.
It's the last year in the WAC for Cal State Bakersfield, picked 7th. Do you think that'll give your guys kind of an edge, maybe a chip on their shoulder to make it a statement year to end, the run in the WAC?
I don't think our guys would take it as far as our last year in the WAC. I've tried to stay away from that. The WAC has been unbelievable. It's been great for us. I've enjoyed the competition. I've enjoyed what the conference offers and what they've done for our university and for our program. So I haven't talked about leaving. I've talked about what we're doing right now. Our guys, I'm sure, will be motivated when they see we're 7th. I think any team that's not probably 1 or 2 should be motivated. But I don't think we kind of knew coming in with all the lost, returners, guys that we lost and the few returners we had that we would be picked low. But it's just about our team getting better. And, again, I try to stay away from things we can't control. And now that we're leaving the WAC, I don't talk about it a lot with our players. I talk to them about this season, this team, and trying to do the very best that we can with this particular team.
All righty, Coach. Well, we appreciate your time, and we're wishing you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Rod Barnes.